We're in the playoffs. Yes, it's the losers bracket now. We have Team Fancy Pants, aka Team YEAAAAABOI, against Team Mason. And yeah, third time is the charm. We already tried this twice, and every single time Dino disconnected, they kicked him out of the game and had him restart the entire client, and now things are thankfully working. It's a best of 5 series at the Captain's Clash. We have Towers of Doom as our first map. And for Team Mason, this would, if they win, be the first series they win this entire tournament. We had initially, of course, the round-robin phase between the 6 participating teams, and they didn't win a single match. I believe they only won 2 maps in this entire tournament so far. And since we are now in the losers bracket, it means that if they lose here, they are out and would take last place. So time will tell who claims it here. But so far in the playoffs we had actually some really nice games, and this should be pretty good. So Diablo is getting banned. We have also Chromie immediately getting rid of. We're gonna definitely get a couple of priority bans that are happening here, especially later on when we have, I don't know, people like Nano, for example, in the mix. But Towers of Doom is our first map. On the bans, we had Volskaya and Alderac Pass banned by Team Mason. Pretty happy with that, honestly. Volskaya is just one of the worst maps in the pool right now. And I'm getting a little bit tired of Alderac Pass as well. It's not really the worst map, but it gets played pretty frequently lately, and after a while it becomes a little bit boring. I would love if there were a few more camps, but there's only essentially the 2 bosses, and I'm still not 100% certain if I like the mechanic with the shields. I guess generally I'm kind of in favor of it, but I would love for the map to maybe be a little bit smaller and a bit more action-packed. Now when it comes to Team YEAAAAABOI, they banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Infernal Shrine. So apparently they hate Diablo-themed maps. I'm not quite sure why, but yep, that's what they immediately targeted. Brightwing and Sylvanas now on towers. There's no draft rules. If you watch the tournaments, that's tournament before, then you know that already. So we don't have any specific rules around the draft. It's just a standard vanilla tournament that we have. And we get our globals on towers. Top lane, Dehaka and Lucio to zip around a little bit and do their thing. Caterpillar, not his best tournament so far. I actually was questioning, at least initially a little bit, how much he actually plays these days, because he has participated in some of the North American tournaments that we hosted in the past, but I haven't really seen him all that much, and I was told that he actually plays, but feels like he is a little bit off in this tournament at least. Johanna, which is one of his priority picks, is already picked away from them. Diablo banned, and they're banning the Vikings now too. I'm not quite sure why people hate fun. We had 1 Vikings game so far. It was great. Like, let the Vikings go through. And they keep banning them out. I honestly think they should punish them. They should punish them for banning the Vikings and pick Cho'Gall. That would show them, you know, like that would be a big punishment. So yeah, like just like the protest Cho'Gall pick, make the audience happy. Blaze and Anubarak stun into stun that we're getting now. And with that, we have our final 2 picks for the red team. So Team Mason, is it finally going to happen today? Are they going to win a series? Or are we instead going to see them drop out of the tournament? I mean, so far with the Haka, they have already a nice top lane. We just are missing all the damage for them right now. Mage and a little bit of auto attack damage, I suppose. So, yeah, we get Cassia and Genji. Alright. I expected to see more Cassie. I'm happy that she gets picked here. And that leaves us with the final pick for the blue team. So, ladies and gentlemen, best of 5 series. We're heading into our first map, Towers of Doom, Nuburak Blaze. We get Hanzo as the final pick, and with that, the stage is set for our first map in this losers bracket match. Let's go. Game on! So, on the left, in blue, we have Fancy Pants, Team YEAAAAABOI, with Blaze played by the captain, Caterpillar on Anubarak. Right now, Chaotic on Hanzo, Dino is playing Sylvanas, and Banana Age on Brightwing. Over on the right side, we have Amazing Blaze on Genji. Gut Filth for the red team is playing Johanna. Berry Day on Lucio, Zergling on Dehaka, and Roger from Cambodia is playing Cassia in game number 1. It's actually a little bit sad. So in the live stream we have quite often predictions where you can essentially bet a couple of like channel points on who you think is going to win it. And the odds are overwhelmingly in favor of the blue team. Now, to be fair to everybody that voted for the blue team, these guys obviously met in the round robin phase already once, and back then Team YEAAAAABOI won it, I believe, with a 2-0, might have been a 2-1, I think it was a 2-0. But the funny thing around it is that nobody seems to really believe that the red team is going to take it here. I have a little bit of faith. Come on, guys, it would be a bit sad if they now get dropped out of the tournament without winning anything, so we have to at least give them a couple of pity points here. But I guess some people at least disagree with that sentiment, so it is a little bit on the sad side. Let's see what they can do. Maybe they're turning it around now, go for an absolutely stellar lower bracket run, and whoever cast their vote for them is going to win all of the channel points, but yeah, we'll see. And overall, over to the left side, we now have the first camps already taken, but the invade is coming. Red team decided that they're gonna find their salvation in aggression. So they're coming in, trying to be a bit aggressive here and trying to make their play to invade that camp and steal it away from the opponent. And so far, it is working. Blaze is at the top. The Haka said, you know what, boys, I'm gonna join you for this one. So he will have to waddle his way back towards the top to catch the wave here, as Blaze is going for a camp himself. But that's already a pretty nice start. You steal the opponent's pumpkins away. Now you just have to make sure that you're getting your own at least. And once that has been delivered, you've taken the lead in mercenary experience, and you've taken a slight advantage in all of this. Yeah, just in general. Also for Cassia, it's nice to fight for the camp, because any engagement that they are now jumping into, they can get additional stacks for her, which is of course one of the goals that they're currently playing out with. So if she's able to get some additional stacks for her level 1, that would be pretty nice. We have a couple of mini lags over here on the server right now. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. As I said before during the draft, Dino was really lagging out of the game in the draft until he restarted his client, so there was a bit of a problem there. Could be that it's connected to that and that the Blizzard servers are just a little bit iffy today. Guys, they're turning them off. They're turning them off after all. It's happening. So, top side, we have the Haka taken out. That was the first blood. Oh, and now they go for Cattle. And they take him down, which means that we have a trade in kills. Each side loses one of their heroes. Bed of Barbs for Cattle on level 4. And honestly, after that last fight, Cassia has actually not gotten any additional stacks. This is not the first time in a while that she's been able to get some more hits connected. So, yeah, here we go. They're trying to take the rest of the wall out. Shots obviously now being fired as the first altars are up. But not only can Blaze interrupt, he also grabbed his own altar already and is now starting to still annoy the Haka and potentially move down to the bottom of the map. So the plays here continue, and who's gonna get that second altar? The Haka could come down if he wants to. Blue team is slowly starting to take control of the area around the altar to try and get a bit ahead here. The Haka not moving in yet. Chaotic is a bit low, but the Haka hasn't made a move. Instead, we're seeing him move towards the top. They want to get level 7 for the team. Blue team has already accomplished that. The Haka is now trying to grab himself another wave to allow his team to grab the next talent too. But the fight is starting to lean already in favor of the red team, as they're starting to take control here and attempt to sneak this one in. So now hasn't really happened yet, but I mean, with God Filth channeling and Genji moving away, Sylvana's in the middle, another interrupt already going on, so they're trying to lay as much as they can and slow things down here. But yeah, this could... God Filth is likely going to get it. Nope, gets interrupted again. Hanzo just annoying as usual, but now they're sending in some additional reinforcements, and the Haka could also come through, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So maybe that's going to give them the space that they need in order to grab that altar. Blaze is rotating over at the same time, so he wants to make sure that he gets the next interrupt. And they're doing a great job, and the red team is starting to lose hit points. They're actually dropping fairly low, and this could be a bloodbath right now. So blue team moves in, wants the kill, barely misses out on grabbing it on the Haka. We have already Dainu on the altar itself, channeling, and they grab the 4 shots and push Team Mason back. Nicely done. First, they delayed things for an eternity. they were able to slowly take the hit points down of every single player on the other side, point by point, and then when they thought, okay, now we have an opportunity, just after the Haka moved into, they made their play and started to take the altar. Now, a little bit of a lead, half a level ahead as well. Not much more than that, but yeah. And everybody is just getting their own pumpkins again, as Cassia keeps stacking, sitting at 20 now on her level 1. Again, nothing crazy, but we're going to monitor that a bit and see if she gets to a point where she becomes a massive force to be reckoned with here. Right now, the blue team is slowly walking towards level 10, and this is making them fairly dangerous. As soon as the heroic abilities kick in, you can start forcing fights. Specifically, of course, if you're running a Nubarak here. That would be a pretty big one for them. With a noob in the mix, you can always drop a cocoon and then just isolate that target, which might be exactly what they're looking for here if they see an opportunity. Caterpillar has that option now. But the red team is grabbing their own talent in just a moment too. So the window isn't really all that big. It's not a huge window or anything. Sylvanas is empowering these pushes continuously. We now have again mind control taken. Just missed the target though. On top of that, by the way, we have now a Nubarak with some beetles that he can spawn whenever they're engaging a structure or wall. Then you have Sylvanas to also disable it. So they have a certain amount of push power that they can definitely utilize as soon as they have the upper hand after a team fight, for example. So one of the things that they could for sure use to try and get themselves an extra bell tower. Oh, yeah, that Genji move immediately into a poly. I got nasty for a second, and Brightwing and Hanzo are the ones to fall. So initially good reaction from the blue team, but then Team Mason turns it on them very quickly and claims 2 kills. That gives them not only an altar, but even more push power towards that next structure. So, job well done. Nice little move that we're seeing from Team Mason. There's definitely some fire in that team after all. They moved in, they got their double kill, they took some momentum on the map, and now they are taking not only the wall out, but also hit points on the bottom left bell tower. Job well done. Yeah, for Team YEAAAAABOI, that was a bit of a setback. They definitely didn't see that one coming. The start was great. Genji jumps in, gets immediately polyed. There was a chance to try and target him directly. But then, yeah, tides turned very quickly. Now, top side, we have Tehaka with some assistance from Genji grabbing the next camp. Blaze is too late to do anything about it. So even that lane might see a bit more pushing. Especially now with Lucio also saying hello, sniffing some targets out. And could have possibly assisted there too. Didn't go for any of that though. But maybe another pumpkin camp at the bottom. I like that the red team is more aggressive. They definitely learned a bit from the previous matches and said we need to do something. We're playing too passive, we have to be a bit more aggressive around this. And now they are picking their fights quite well, I have to say. So this is another neat little move that they just made. Not only getting the pumpkins and applying consistent pressure down at the bottom of the map at these bell towers. So yeah, they will take that eventually, I suppose. Damage output, 23,000 for Hanzo. At the top, even pressuring now Blaze. We gotta retreat now that Brightwing helps out. But still, this is exactly the kind of pressure that they need to establish here. As we very likely will see teams just exchange bell towers now in that situation that we find ourselves in. But yeah, the party continues. More pumpkins. And maybe the chance to do damage down at the bottom of the map, as now both teams have level 13 talents. The half-level lead now goes over to Team Mason. Shots are fired. Again, it's a typical exchange. I mean, normally, very, very rarely do you see during that altar phase a team go for the double. You have to be fairly ahead or win a big team fight in order to pull that off. Usually it's just like gentleman's agreement, everybody takes one. But this is the opportunity. Blessed Shield comes out, Brightwing is dead. Now that the support is gone, they want more. Good damage from Cassia too, and there's the kill against Sylvanas. And Genji isn't even done with it. Tries to move in for the next kill. Well, Mason Blaze himself nearly gets Hanzo. There's another scatter shot comes through, but the bell tower is now taken. And with 6 kills to 1, they're starting to play Team Fancy Pants to the wall. They're getting pushed into a corner here. Currently, the blue team isn't looking too hot. Now, can they change that? This is House of Doom after all. Late game momentum is basically everything. But we're now at 28 points to 24 on the core. 1 level lead for the red team. And things are starting to look better and better for Team Mason. This would be a great start into the series for them. If they can start this with a 1-0 lead. Again, they haven't won a match yet. So if you start the best of 5 with a 1-0, then hey. Would love to say you're already halfway there, but that doesn't quite mathematically pan out. Unless you believe, unless you're a part of the crowd that thinks that 2 + 2 is 5, then maybe you're also believing in that. But yeah, so far that theory doesn't quite work out for them. But again, it would be a nice lead. Couple of pumpkins escorted in. Oh, if they can get a kill here. But there's one stun, and Zergling just taps everything he can to survive. They are losing the bell tower though. So the attack against the Haka might not have succeeded, but they get the bell tower. Now they're closing on level 16. Shots fired at the bottom of the map, so the altar was at least taken, but it was only 1. 20 points to 28. That's salvageable. That is definitely something that you can recover from. So, taking the pumpkins out here, especially with the help of Sylvanas, that would of course be nice. But it's definitely a position from which you can recover. Bot lane is always more important because of the amount of pumpkins that travels through it than the top lane. But just having equal bell towers again is already worth quite a lot. So, that is going to help them for sure. But then again, blue team is now trying to push in and take this back. Sylvanas is going to help with this a lot. And then on top of that, but they're losing Hanzo again. Genji is just the superior brother. It's just what it is. I mean, you know how it is. Their parents, they definitely preferred Genji. I mean, honestly, who doesn't? That little guy with the hipster beard over there that orders a soy latte at Starbucks every time, like, yeah. If you ask his mom, she's gonna tell you she loves both of them just the same, but we all know that's not true. There's that little twinkle in her eye every single time that she talks about Genji. Hanzo knows it as well. That's one of the reasons why he's so bitter. So that's why he never made anything out of him. The only thing that he was able to do is become the Nexus. What's that Avenger with a bow? You see, like that's how unpopular these guys are. I can't even remember. Like, it's... yeah. Nobody cares. Hawkeye. Nobody cares. Absolutely nobody cares. And that's the same with Genji. So, it's just an uncomfortable truth. It's one of the things that Blizzard doesn't want to talk about when they're talking lore, but hey. I try to keep my audience informed, you know? So, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, the Haka is trying to take back the top. Down here, though, the altar is being fought over. 56 stacks now for Cassia. We have her at 35,000 damage. She's actually battling for top damage with Hanzo. Hanzo's trying to overcompensate a little bit here. You know, because he knows that his parents didn't really love him, he tries to get the highest damage out, and he does accomplish it with a little bit of, like, scatter damage that he just drops out every now and then. Is it really damage that necessarily translates into kills? We can always argue about that, but it's a little bit of overcompensation. So, yeah, it's just what it is. Then again, Blaze with the big armor. Oh, the stuns! Oh boy, I can't watch it! No, Team Mason! Ah, okay, they get the kill. Oh, this could have turned against them. So, Blaze is... Oh, not only Blaze. A solidarity death from Caterpillar, the Nubarak also force. Guys, I'm telling you, Team Mason is getting this. Viride is locking in another altar. That's 4 more shots fired, and all of a sudden it's 12 points to 24. It's definitely looking good for them now. So the pumpkins are moving. They're making their way through the map as they're hoping to connect those 3 too. Now, level 16, of course, we got Epic Enter, so the Nubarak can epically enter the opponent's backline, but up to now, this hasn't really probably panned out for him. So, half a level until 20 for the team in red. That's going to be pretty nice. Trying to get the pumpkins in. Weren't able to do that. But still, some extra damage. And also buy time for De Haka. As he starts to get control over the top lane. So he is slowly and steadily starting to take that bell tower back. And that would put them into a 5-3 situation on the numbers. So that would be pretty neat. That's exactly where we are right now. So the Haka makes it happen. Level 20 is also ready. That gives us Blinded by the Light. And the Living Weapon is ready. So, yeah, Jojo's gonna try and blind everybody again. 71 stacks for Cassia. She's actually been doing okay. Cassia started to get some proper hits in. Good for her. And now at the top, they're again trying to even things out. This is done. They might just be able to do that. No! Cattle! Didn't I talk about it earlier? Cattle is suffering. Now he has a Nuburak and he died 4 times. 10 kills to 1. I mean, at this point, it isn't even close. Remember when I told you that we talked about the predictions and that nobody believed in the power of a Team Mason to make it? Look at that. They're just crushing it right now. 8 points. Single digits, baby. And down here, they're still fighting. The next battle is ongoing. So now with a 5 versus 4 on the map, we can slowly start to think about the boss, for example. Technically, they could have enough time. Yeah. But now we have level 20 talents on both sides. If there was ever a time for the blue team to potentially bring this game back, it is now. And they're trying to take extra control. So we have them getting the bell tower back at the bottom of the map. They still control the one at the top, so that's another one. But they're also down to, ouch, a single point on the core. Oi, 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 oi. 1 point to 24. I mean, alright, boys. Good luck with that. It's not impossible. We've seen it happen. This is the map. This is the map after all, but it's still going to be a tall order. No more mistakes from here on out. 5 bell towers to 3 in their favor. The Haka's trying to take back the top, but they have to dominate the rest of the game if they want to have a chance here. They have to absolutely murder it, and they're trying to apply the pressure at the bottom of the map now. The Haka has retaken the top right, but here's the play. Damage output 46,000 for Cassia. Hanzo at 48k. Pumpkins! Here comes the isolation. Contagion against 4. Hits him hard. Banana! And he's dead. So is Hanzo. And that is gonna be game, ladies and gentlemen. The altar is gonna spawn in 10 seconds. They're losing 2. They're gonna lose another one. It's gonna be the end of Anubarak, and it is definitely gonna be the end of this game. Over here, the Haka is playing with the remaining 2. Mind control is being used. The Haka doesn't even care. Sylvanas is trying to get away here. Dainu makes it for a moment. Mace Blaze wants him, but look at that. We have got Filth ending the game, saying, alright, I'm done with this. I will lock in that 1-0 lead for us, and that's exactly what he does. GG, well played. Game number 1 goes to the team in red. Nicely done and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Well, game number 2 looks good for Team Mason. We're heading to Tomb of the Spider Queen now. And Team Mason with a 1-0 lead. Job well done. I like it. Now, can they continue that? Is Team YEAAAAABOI the first team that is being sent home here? I am still confused, by the way, about the whole Team YEAAAAABOI thing. So, Fancy Pants played in a European tournament the other day. I think it was the last one. I think it was a Murky Cup, actually. And he had an account that he got borrowed from someone on the European server, I believe. And he insisted that he's like, oh, you can't say like the account name. You have to say my nickname. How you need to call me Fancy Pants. And I was like, all right. Very specific around this. He's called Fancy Pants in Discord, but the team is called YEAAAABOI, and he uses the account here. I mean, if that is so confusing that I don't know what is, like, you need to make up your mind who you are. So give me something here. Every single time that this team is playing, I'm just now confused. It's like, so what? But yeah, they might be the first ones that are being sent home now. We have a double ban against 2 of the tanks that Caterpillar plays the most. I gotta say, they are targeting Cattle. They definitely are. Think about game number 1. They banned Diablo, they picked Johanna. Now we are on Tomb of the Spider Queen, they banned both of them. So Cattle is always forced then in different heroes. He had a couple of great games with, let's say, Garrosh, for example, and there's always Muradin, but generally speaking, you can see in drafts that some of Cattle's choices are clearly being targeted and taken away from him. So that's a bit of a problem. But okay, now we got Blaze, Sylvanas, already taken. Maiev has the first pick on the blue team side. I mean, this is the smallest map they currently still have available in the map pool here. And we get the Haka and Malfurion. This is starting to become a little bit more of a trend in this tournament too, that you get the Haka on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We've seen that on the European side very rarely, but I believe this is already the third time right now that they're playing the Haka on Tomb. So, yeah, definitely happening a little bit more here. If anything, I'm a little bit curious why Hanzo hasn't been chosen yet, because he is fairly good at interrupting anything that's happening in the middle, just to say the least. Chromie, obviously, makes perfect sense that she gets banned out here. Junkrat, another one. So, yeah, Hanzo and Junkrat, those are two that would definitely work out nicely here. But neither ban. I didn't even catch that. Junkrat gets banned, but I didn't even catch the ban on the Nubarak. I was like so thinking about what kind of damage dealers we're now going to get. Look at the ban pattern. They are definitely targeting Cattle. I wonder if Cattle is not just simply saying, okay, I'm going to pick Muradin here, specifically now that Varian has been picked away. Sniper combo with Varian, Stukov. That would have been quite nice also on the other side, but now Dino and Caterpillar, the final two picks. And yeah, let's get this going. Come on, boys. What is Cattle picking? Normally I'm sitting here thinking, what is Dino gonna play? Are we gonna get a Tracer? Are we gonna get this? Are we gonna get that? And now I'm just looking at Cattle and I was like, are you gonna... Oh, Stitches! Okay. Hook into Malfurion Root, and then we have Gul'dan from Dino. Okay, it's gonna be a Stitches game. Are we gonna get Hungry for More as a level 1 choice? Well, we'll see. And, last question, what is Mason gonna play? The team's in the lead, it's the best of 5. Is the blue team gonna bring it back? Or is Team Mason now finally finding, you know, their stride now that they're in a lower bracket and like everything, the tournament life is on the line. We get Genji again for him, second time in a row, and with that we're heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 2! On the left, Team YEAAAAABOI with Banana H on Malfurion. We got the Captain, Fancy Pants on the Haka, Chaotic on Maiev, Dino with a Fell Flame build on Gul'dan, and Caterpillar has gone into the Patchwork creation with Stitches. As over on the right side, we have Team Mason with a 1-0 lead in this best of 5, with the man himself on Genji. Weary Day now on Stukov. I mean, clearly sniper combo with Varian playing the main tank. Remember, I got Filth here. We got Zergling on Blaze, and the Roger is playing Sylvanas now. So, time to get to level 4, get some taunts in, and try and follow up with those quick jet propulsions. Zergling with a money pick here. But that could get nasty. There's also a trend in the tournament with Sylvanas to go very heavily for mind control. And if in this case now you're starting to stack mind control on top of a taunt, you can obviously work also a lot here. Now we again have these mini lags at the beginning of the game. Now they disappeared as we... Same was happening on the first map. I really... Pairing that with the problems that Dino had earlier, I really think there's a bit of a server issue. I mean, they disappeared after a minute or so, so I suppose the same is going to happen in here, but it's actually kind of interesting. Anyways, that said and done, we now have Stitches already trying to make a couple of moves here. Yeah, circling himself with the jet propulsion turnaround against the Haka, but nothing that they can really do about that yet. Now on top of this, we have a couple of stacks coming in for Gul'dan, who's making his plays here, so he's currently sitting at 6. Full Fell Flame for him as all of that continues, and their team is now going for the Siege Giants, as on the right side we have them instead just trying to quickly grab some of the mercenaries here. So more of a mid lane pressure play from them, but they also defend against the mercenaries here pretty quickly, trying to take those out. With success, I might add. So far, so good. Okay, nicely done. Both of the siege giants are now gone. And in the middle, at least Varian is still taking care of it. Varian is still defending here, is still doing his thing. So, yeah, good for him. But they won't be able to break through this. They got Sylvanas, so that helps a bit. Gul'dan goes down, killed by Genji. Yeah, nicely done at the bottom of the map. Here in the middle, the fight continues, and it's a pretty hefty one at that too. So, yeah, they're getting very aggressive here, trying to do the best now out of their comp, especially with the 5 versus 4 situation, and are pushing massively aggressively for that wall to try and take that out. At least the tower. Drop something. And they are starting to take that tower out. So, job well done. A quick pull on Zergling. Good root from Malfurion. Nice damage. Oh, and even the hook. Zergling is about to get away. I'm not so sure about Varian, though. Got filmed. Oh. Had like 4 hit points in the last moment. Imagine him getting away with that. Just moving away with the 4 hit points that he had there. That would have been pretty funny. But yeah, he's not able to make that work, so yeah, he's gone. Right now we have up at the top, Chaotic. Blue team has started to stabilize a bit after the last game here. I mean, now we have them with a lead in experience. It's early in the game, but yes, they have a lead in experience. Maybe that early level 7 talent would help. They also turned in 38 of their gems, so that's quite nice as well. Yep, next attack here also coming now. And Sylvanas is gone. Alright. Sylvanas gets eliminated. She's dead. And the blue team is pulling a little bit farther ahead and might just get that first play on the objective. We need some taunts right now, honestly. Like, if Varian can come in and then Stukov follows up, but they need more of the team here if they want to make a play for that. So there's already the move, and they get the kill on Dino. Nice, exactly that. Taunting Gul'dan, making a comment about his bad teeth hygiene, and then bam, there it is. The kill comes in, and with that, they now have the perfect opportunity. Nicely done. So, another kill, Stitches, he gets caught and killed too. So after Gul'dan, they take Stitches down. That leaves us now in a situation with 3 kills to 2, and after all, it might be the red team that is able to grab themselves those next few web weavers. Ah, well done. Blue team takes the initial lead, and then it's another turnaround, similar to what we've seen on Towers of Doom as the first map. And now, with Sylvanas, they might just be able to do some serious structural damage here too. So, not too bad. Now, let's see how much they can do here. But, yep, that was actually pretty perfect. If the red team, if the blue team gets the turn in and then maybe also lead in experience, they could have gained more momentum here. But now, things are turning around. Look at Maiev. Nice lurking arm. And the perfect timing too, just as they need to defend, they lose Maiev here. That was really, really well done. Great combo again. It's so easy to execute this. You come in with Varian, you get that taunt, you get that lurking arm. Yeah, that might have been a problem, that hook arm, if they already had heroics, which isn't the case. So now they're pushing through their top wall. Genji's in the middle, and there's, by the way, absolutely nobody defending. Maiev is just now coming back, so top side, they might not have been able to get too much damage, but just look at what's going on in the mid lane. This entire fort is going to fall, and Genji is now rotating down to the bottom to apply additional pressure to Dehaka together with Blaze, and they are able to take that wall out too. So, as a first objectives go, that was pretty successful. That was actually very, very good now. That allowed them to get that turn in, that allowed them to get the perfect play here for the early game. Take the fort out, take the leading experience, get level 10. So, yep, things are looking very, very good for them right now. And yeah, with that said and done, let's see, over here, we still got Zergling with the next camp. They're obviously hoping to also deny the turn-in to the opponent right now. If they can pull that off, then hey, even better. Question is simply, can they? I mean, they are currently trying to get their own gems delivered. But we'll see. 12 are turned in. Blue team has 45. They still hold 44. So they haven't really lost too many gems here. Lost a couple for sure, but they're still holding a ton. And here comes the next attack. Once again, Caterpillar becomes the target. Lurking Arm was on point. The tether, though, against Sylvanas. And Sylvanas is gone. Sylvanas destroyed. And the blue team is fighting back and gets also a turn in. I like it. Really nice back and forth that we now have between the teams here. So action, action, and action is what we're currently getting. And I'm absolutely here for it. And I also love that Team YEAAAAABOI is making sure that the opponent doesn't simply walk over them. But Filth has to pause the game here real quickly. So somebody, I mean, definitely a 3-2-3 moment right now. I'm not quite sure who dropped, if anybody. But still, it's a nice back and forth. Now, Sylvanas is going to be back in just a second, so once that she's back to business, they can start to use her for defense too. But since in the middle the entire wall is already gone, this fort might get destroyed. So there's a very good chance that the blue team is going to draw even now. 17,000 damage puts Gul'dan into the driver's seat for the blue team. We have Genji mirroring that on the other side with a 17k that he brings to the table. And I honestly think that as the series progresses, there's a good chance that Mason's Genji gets either picked away or banned out. Because he has now played him twice in a row, and he definitely has a big impact here. That plays a role, for sure. And they will have to do something about it. So, we'll see how much they can do. But, yeah, for now, they still have to deal with the situation as is, obviously. Later on, I think really there's a high chance that he's going to get banned or taken away at least a few times. But as is, we now have the fort destroyed, so that one's gone. Yeah, and up at the top, they're making moves for the next few... for the next few structures. One fort destroyed, another one that they could definitely try and grab. So far that hasn't happened. They definitely will eventually. It's super even though. 4 kills to 3. We have both teams on level 12. So things are moving forward for both of them at roughly the same pace. Even in structures, they're currently looking at the exact same situation. So, yeah. That's another one here. Next turn in. Everybody is already trying for another little play. The taunt after Gorge against Sylvanas. Maybe now an opportunity. Horrify was used too. They got the disc out. This time against Genji. Eddie X strikes out and actually makes it. Mason Blaze just escaped the carnage. But they get a drag on Blaze and that might just be the end. Blaze has to bunk up, but that fight is not over. They're isolating Stitches, and now Cattle is in trouble. Gets a Devour through. Ooh, Stukov misses the shove. Genji isn't even here. Got Phil's, got no hit points. And he's dead. 13 to 13. But what a game. A turn-in can definitely happen. That would be the second one in a row for them. So, yep. Off we go. 2 turn-ins in a row now for that team. Okay. Yeah, question is of course, how much more can they now pull off? That's definitely a big one here. How much more can they do in that situation? Once that you get the second turn in a row, you definitely have a few options with this. And right now, there's of course a big chance for them to take additional structures out. The fort at the top is already mega low. Then you have on top of that now also the bottom here getting attacked. So yeah, there's a lot going on where they can do serious damage to those structures, break the outer defense apart, and maybe even get a few kills with it. The bottom fort is already completely abandoned. Now they're starting to make their play into the middle. Again, the taunt attempt. Ah, Dehaka barely makes it out. Or does he? He gets the essence completely popped. The counter kill against Blaze. But yeah, that one was mega tricky. Dehaka could have died here for sure. He barely didn't make it. And now they go for God Filth. They get him too. So that is the end of Varian. And the blue team is gaining more and more momentum in this. They've taken the forts out. Only the one at the top is still standing. And they can always grab that on their way back in. But yeah, it's getting real tough here. It's getting mega tough for them. So we have the keep at the bottom of the map getting attacked. Likely going to be taken out now. And they're just... Now the red team is just struggling. They had some fantastic moments, honestly, where I thought, okay, they're going to bring it back here, or they're even taking the lead. But the last two fights haven't really gone all that well for them. They were close, they could have gone either way. But we have now Team YEAAAAABOI looking in at level 16 talents. So they're going to get those soon. They already have a lead. They have 40 gems that they're currently holding, so that's something that they can build on. Up at the top, we have Dehaka easily controlling the lane and can push for the topside fort that I was mentioning earlier. So it's a little bit tricky. I mean, right now we also have Pulverize in. Stitches is definitely helping Khaldor too. Much harder to take him down now. Stitches is a big boy. Even when he was isolated earlier by that bunker from Blaze and literally put into a corner, they just couldn't kill him. The heals came through from Malfurion. And then Stitches got that one Devour in as well, which just barely helped them there. If not for that, we might look at a different game, but currently it is the blue team's show. They are making the moves, and they're getting closer and closer to another turn-in. So, while we have enough gems for the red team to potentially turn in, they don't have level 16 talents. And they're unwilling to fight without them. Which I don't really blame them for, so it's a bit tricky for them to do something here. Yeah. Definitely doesn't make things any easier. Caterpillar. Okay, also sitting at the side right now again, looking for the next hook and potential gorge that he could lock in. Got Filth. Taunt is out. Mind Control is a follow-up. That's exactly the combo that we talked about earlier. Taunt, Mind Control into Lurking Arm, and that allowed them to get an insta-kill against YEAAAAABOI. YEAAAAABOI didn't stand a chance there. Absolutely no chance for her. And that's exactly the kind of play that they need to make in order to turn that game around. Get those kills, farm them hard, and then turn in, which they just did. So here's the opportunity. That is the chance to at least take the two remaining forts on the other side out. And this is what they're going to be aiming for. In the middle, they've already taken it apart. Now at the top, I mean, even without the web weavers, they're already starting to move in here. And yeah, why wouldn't they? They're starting to move in for this. Trying to get a quick hit in before the web weavers even arrive. There's the mind control. They go for Gul'dan. And here comes Genji. Genji comes in and takes the kill. Gul'dan is gone. And they go for Stitches. They're doing it again. They're turning the game around again. No way. I mean, kudos. They are crushing it all of a sudden here. This is a little bit unexpected, I have to admit. This really looked like it is a shoo-in for the blue team, given the circumstances. But now the top side keep will fall. The web weaver at the bottom of the map is going to take care of it as well. 7 kills to 6, and with only 3 defenders. If they're getting a few more here, they might be able to go for game. They said, no way! No! Stukov! Stay in that bunker, dude! What are you doing? No! Stukov left that a little bit too early, and then one quick cleave from YEAAAAABOI takes him down. So, they didn't get the keep. They did not get that keep. They did some decent damage, but they weren't able to take the keep out. Bit unfortunate for them, I guess. That would have been a pretty important hit, but yeah. 37,000, 38,000 damage for Sylvanas. I guess double checking at the top. Gul'dan is nearly 40,000 now. And actually, they try to go for it. Yeah, they're trying to go for the top side boss. It comes a bit telegraphed. Blue team has also taken the web weaver, so the red team knows exactly what's happening, by the way. Genji wants that, gets it, and now has to gets interrupted by the catapult. Okay, so at this point you will have to slowly move out there. They let the boss go though. So that is something that they could have potentially contested. But yeah, bottom of the map, that already gets the feed a little bit. Blaze? Blaze? What was that? What? Not like this, dude! Blaze commits honorable Sudoku and is gone. Yeah, that was definitely a Subaru move. So, Blaze is gone. In Germany, we call that dumm gelaufen, quite literally. I mean, that was the worst path that he could take. Granted, we have full vision, he doesn't, but still. So now Blaze is gone, and all of a sudden the game flips again. No! The boss has already been defeated. Now they're trying to take the web beavers out, which are about to fall. But can they really defend? They don't have Blaze currently. That makes things a lot more difficult for them. So, yeah, still trying to do what they can. The hooks keep coming, but that is a second keep that now falls. So that's 2 keeps gone, and they're down to a single structure besides the core. Ooh, they don't have level 20 either. And here comes the blue team determined to take that keep as well. Oh, but Gul'dan gets caught and killed. Yep. That saves the day for them. And Caterpillar, I mean, he gobbles everybody up, but he also finds himself completely alone and isolated. So Cattle is like, team, team, team! And there's nobody there to save him. So now they're crossing them up to end the game. We have a core play, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to go for core right here. Okay, so this is the move. 3 defenders, that's the taunt! And no! Stukov was a second too late. Stukov was a moment too late with the lurking arm. Omayev would have died. Now she's still up, but they're trying to go for the core. They got 16 seconds until Gul'dan is back. Stukov is gone! No! Blaze is gone too! The core is at 50%! I don't think they can do it. Maybe they can. 30, any second. X-Strike. 16%, there it is! And they pull it off! The core rush is successful! And Team Mason takes a 2-0 lead. GG! Dragonshire map number 3, and it is match point for Team Mason. By the way, Dino did not get replaced on the blue team. But he seems to have some serious problems with hosting lobbies today, so we try. I talked about it actually after the first game started. That was the 3rd try where finally the game didn't crash on us, or the lobby didn't crash on us whenever we tried to host the game. But now we had the same thing again. On the second map wasn't a problem, but here this is like 3-4 attempts in now, and every single time that the lobby gets started, Dino just disconnects immediately, restarted multiple times already, and it just doesn't really work for him. So the idea is now to simply draft first and then create a normal custom lobby and let him join there so that he can play with the team. But yes, so we're drafting right now without Dino, just with a sub in, and that's essentially it. We can already see, with Dragonshire being the map, that Team Mason seems to be following the same pattern again in their bans. They go for Jojo, they go for Diablo, and they're just saying, we are targeting cattle all day, every day right now. Is that going to change the pick pattern of the blue team? Are they going to prioritize a tank for cattle higher? Or will they allow Team Mason to ban another one out and take one away? Now you're on Dragonshire right now, so besides Stitches, we have played earlier already, and in Nuburak there's also Murden that could be very powerful here. I mean, that's one that you saw in the HGC days quite a lot too. But they start things off with the Haka on the side lane, so the Haka is now coming in, and the double pick for the red team to start things off. And this is also where I want to see what happens around specifically Mason and his Genji pick. We played him twice in a row now. Is he going to get him again? The sniper combo on the last map with Taunt actually worked quite nicely. Initially maybe a couple of hiccups, but then they had Sylvanas with mind control following up on that very well, and they could always get the kill. It's interesting that Karazim gets banned here. Unless they are fully aware of Team Mason running Karazim in certain comps, why do you ban Karazim? It has to be a Cho'Gall pick for the blue team. Clearly. Probably not. But there's Murden. So, they indeed get Murden for him. Murden for Caterpillar, and before the next ban comes in. So, they want to make sure that he has a tank that he is going to be fine with. But the Karazim ban is definitely out there for me. Lucio makes perfect sense. But you have so many good supports there. Why were they so worried about Karazim on the other side? For Dragonshire, I mean, fine, but still. Maybe some Garrosh, Isolation, flipping over, 7-sided strike, stuff like that. But as it stands, you have Brightwing, so that's a really nice pick for them, of course. And let's just see what they follow it up with. We already have a ban on Maiev, this time by Team Mason. And here comes, okay, here comes the Garrosh ban. Okay, so it seems like they were really afraid of like Garrosh and Kharazim. And even after banning Kharazim out, they said like, hey, we're gonna get Garrosh out anyways, just to be on the safe side there. But obviously, you still, you could even play Varian again. But here comes Urel and Zagara. They love to do that Zagara stuff. That's obviously a pick that technically Dino could have also taken for himself. Again, we're going to swap him in afterwards. So it would have been funny if they really wanted to pick it for Dino. But now Mason just took that away. So no Genji picked as of yet. Could always, of course, like swap some heroes over. But you already have Sylvanas and Zagara. And you still need your main tank. So highly unlikely that we're going to see Genji this time. Here comes Tracer. And we get Junkrat. Okay, so we're basically set. Team Mason with the last pick as we're heading into Dragonshire. Match point number 1. Match point number 1 for Team Mason. The team that has not won a single match in this tournament so far is all of a sudden in a position where they could win their best of 5 without even dropping a single map. On the left, Team YEAAAAABOI with Dino and Tracer, Banana H on Rhaegar. We have Caterpillar on Muradin, Chaotic is playing Junkrat for the blue team, and YEAAAAABOI himself, aka Fancy Pants, on Dehaka. Right side of the map, the team of the hour, Mason with his boys, him playing Zagara. We got Zergling on Urel, Brightwing played by Weary Day, got Filth on Varian, and Roger again on Sylvanas. So we don't have the Lurking Arm follow-up on Taunts, but we still have a Poly. And, maybe more importantly, we still have that combo between a Lurking Arm, a Taunt and Sylvanas with Mind Control after level 10, which they already utilized on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, with that, Zagara, I'm going to keep a bit of an eye on her, of course, too. But currently over here in the middle, got Filth. Pushed out of the bush. One of the funniest things in my eyes is still that when you have, for example, Deathwing, you know, has this insane hit point model, hitbox model, and then he tries to hide in a bush, and everybody's like, I can't see him anymore, he's gone! You have that massive dragon just sitting in that bush there. It's like, he's invisible! It's still funny to me. They really want that kill here, by the way. It looks like they're gonna get it. Yep, that's the end of that. Tracer comes in, and they even get the double. Yes. Oh, but Rhaegar went too deep for it. Rhaegar jumped in straight into tower range and then got punished. So yeah, Rhaegar taken down as a 2-for-1 trade. But he really wanted the kill. I can appreciate that you YOLO for a kill and he's like, yeah, I don't care. Maybe I don't make it out. Still worth it. Creep spread at the bottom of the map. Mason with a decent job so far. Enough creep to make Jaedong blush. At least for now, but I suppose that we're going to get a cleanup service with maybe Rhaegar and a lightning shield. But they are also threatening a Dragonite right now. Dodge, nice. Even Dehaka came down. Dodging the Stormbolt, Dehaka came down, and honestly, if that Stormbolt hits, Dehaka gets a tongue through, and that's the end of Zagara. So that was well done. But it also means that at the top, Dehaka is now missing, so Brightwing, for a short period of time, can take control. Level 4 talents kicking in, that gives us the Envenomed Spines for Zagara. And for Muradin, we get a level 4 Sledgehammer now. Yeah, with the camp already taken, maybe a chance to leverage Sylvanas a little bit more and get some structural damage in. So of course, camp against camp here. Blue team has lost control over the top shrine completely, meaning that there's no threat of the Dragon Knight at this point, at least. And Dragon has a... I still love this, by the way. Chattering teeth, yep, there they are. Oh god. Oh, Varian! Oh, actually, they could turn it now. He still has a taunt cooldown. He has used it already. If not for that, they might be able to make a play here. Now, down at the bottom of the map, Mason is making his move. YEAAAAABOI is slowly retreating here. Yeah, they definitely want to grab control of this one as well. Double control and sneaking a Dragon Knight in this early in the game. That would be pretty sweet, of course, if you can pull it off. Oh, but the Haka. Careful, there's the taunt. Can they get the kill? Yep, they can. The Haka comes in, tries to help, and just dies. And now they're going for Caterpillar, and he dies too. It's amazing to me. Nobody really believed earlier that Team Mason would have any shot in this series. With them losing every match that they played in this tournament and losing therefore, of course, also against Team YEAAAAABOI in the round robin phase, it just didn't look good. And now we have the exact opposite. It's all of a sudden the blue team that is very much so struggling here. So 3 kills to 2, double control on the shrine. And while this game is far from being over and still fairly even actually, it's still impressive to me to see that the red team is the one that is now making, you know, all the plays here. In the middle, they're trying to chase Urel. So far, it seems like Zergling is fine. They have to, of course, guard this spot here. Dino! There's the taunt! And there's the recall. Bye-bye, Tracer. Tracer is gone. And boy, this is getting worse and worse. The Haka at least was taking care of the top shrine. So now control is wrestled away from Team Mason. But they still sit with Sylvanas in the mid lane and can start to take some of the structures down. The pressure is slowly starting to mount up, and honestly, if the pressure is going to get any bigger, then Team YEAAAAABOI is just going to turn into a diamond. Because, yeah, it's getting a bit crazy. Hey, this is an 0-2 score, and now your mid game or your early game is all of a sudden starting to turn against you. Not really the best look here. Tracer gets taunted again. I mean, Dino loses 50% of his hit points every single time that he gets taunted here. And this was Varian alone. There wasn't even anybody assisting. Now, imagine there being a follow-up after 10. Zagara has full control at the bottom of the map, more or less. Is now up against Chaotic. So the two are locked into a one-on-one here. Whereas we now have in the middle a chance for Brightwing to become a real dragon. And there we go! Brightwing becomes a real dragon with a massive battle axe. The Dragon Knight. I don't know, this is still a bit weird to me. They should have given him a shield or something too, like, I don't know. But yeah, so Brightwing is all of a sudden, I'm a real boy! They have level 10, so Maw is out, they have their mind control again. Jungle gets an ass kicking, and that's the chance to now take, maybe even, can they take that fort out? Nah, they should be able to get that. But nobody's defending. Tracer dies in the middle instead. Zagara gets killed too, with the Haka saying hello. But the Dragon Knight is still doing work at the bottom, and they're gonna get a fort out of this. That's kind of wild. First Dragon Knight, and you immediately get a fort? Okay. Self-Ancestor on Rhaegar saves the day for him. Mind control is back in a moment. If they can combo that with another taunt, then hey, maybe they can even get a kill here. But the bottom fort has now fallen. First Dragon Knight and a fort, that's pretty big. That means also, of course, that the fights that have been fought here have all been fought without a healer. So that's another one. But as it stands right now, things are looking very, very good. Very well for Team Mason. We got 16,000 damage for Sylvanas. 5 kills to 3, 1 fort gone. Passive experience kicking in a little bit more. Take one camp, try and claim another. Blue team is thinking that they might just be doing something here. There's the mind control. Poly! Yeah, they kind of stacked that a little bit too hard. That could have been done better. Tracer's moving in now that the cooldowns have been used, and they're stealing the camp. That could have definitely been played out a bit better. So they are going for the Haka, and honestly, I don't really mind that even too much. Tracer took advantage of the fact that the cooldowns were all used, so they had nothing to control her. But that doesn't matter too much if they get the kill on the Haka, which they didn't because they just layered too many of their abilities. And now they're losing Sylvanas too, and they're losing Brightwing. Yeah, that's kind of where you lose me a bit. Zagara is dead as well. Guys, that's 4 heroes that were just eliminated on the red team side. They lost the camp, and now they're losing the fort because of it. That was bad. That was really bad for them. That's a massive problem now. 1 level lead all of a sudden for the blue team. Yeah. Again, if they get the Haka kill, it's fine. If not, then they needed to hold something back for Tracer. Because Dainu saw everything thrown on the Haka and he's like, well, you are all on cooldown now. I can do whatever I want for a couple of seconds. And that's exactly what he did. And the rest of the team, of course, too. If Brightwing polys the Haka a little bit later, so that it doesn't overlap with Mind Control, then they have a real shot at taking the Haka down. I mean, as is, they already nearly got a kill. But they just missed out on it. So now we have level 13 talents on the blue team side. We got Team Mason with 13 kicking in any moment now. UL is actually at the top, so there's no threat of the Dragonite as the talent advantage is in the hands of the blue team. Okay, here comes the Stormbolt. They go for God Fills. Mind Control against Tracer. No follow-up there. There's the Riptire trying to push them back. That's taken out. Still chasing Variant. They don't leave the poor man alone. He just wants a little bit of peace. But nope. The Haka with a quick tongue and gets shut down. Wah, wah. Nice shoot here. But this battle is not over. They have Yrel in the mix now. If they can force the fight with another taunt, but they're already falling back here. Alright, they are taking over the bottom shrine though. Tracer, on the other hand, is taking the top. But look at the gap in experience. It's a full level lead now. So, Team YEAAAAABOI is going to be absolutely happy to just like play this out a bit until they have 16. It's only half a level. And then run the talent advantage. Whereas the red team would love to get a kill too. If they have any shot of getting a kill here, then that would be very nice for them. But currently that is not the case. So 16 is going to be an inevitable advantage for the blue team. And with that we now have a bit more synergy for Rhaegar with the Earth Grasp Totem. So even more CC. And they are immediately going again for Varian. Camp is taken. Okay, so at least this one doesn't get stolen away. And they are threatening at least Murden a bit. But there's the Dragonite. They don't want to fight, so they just give them the objective. Yeah, it's all about that one camp. One single mercenary camp earlier that really changed the course of the game pretty significantly. Decent damage against cattle. Not enough, they drop him down to 50% HP, and with the follow-up on the displacement from Junkrat, now they're threatening. Yeah, they're getting both now, aren't they? I don't know, well, at least one of them escaped, but Varian is still dead. Can they get a kill here against cattle? And the answer is yes! Even the Ancestral didn't help. That was a bit too late. So now the Dragonite is still fighting, but stayed maybe a bit too long. They lost a lot of hits points. They, on the other hand, already destroyed both of the forts in the middle and the top now. So, on the damage output, we got 28,000 for Zagara, 31,000 for Junkrat, so he's a bit ahead here. Dragonite is still getting value for the team. But the kill against Muradin was also happening without a level 16 talent for the red team. So the defense, about as good as you could hope for. Losing one fort, saving the other, getting a kill, losing one of your heroes. Again, still, of course, an uphill battle given the big gap in XP. But now with level 16 talents, they can start to make a couple of moves here. They have the Corrosive Saliva, which is, of course, mega nice now for Zagara. But they have to ensure also that they can do some actual work in the next team fight. Because once those level 20 hits for Team YEAAAAABOI, they're going to get another Dragonite. And then you're really starting to lose infrastructure. So, it's kind of, I don't want to say now or never. But you have to make a move right now. So, small traps here, again with vision. And now, can God Filth come in with a nice taunt? Ideally, not against Muradin. I mean, if Muradin is the one, mind control, and they get him low, but they get the kill! Nice! They actually made it work. Rhaegar did his best to keep him alive. The only thing that he didn't drop was the Ancestral. Thought he didn't need it, but well, that's the kill on Muradin, and now they can try and close the gap a bit. But damn, it's nearly 2 levels right now. Oh, they really have to go for some big plays if they want to change this now. If they can get a Dragonite, it hasn't even been announced yet. But if that thing gets in, they only have 24 seconds until Muradin is back. If they could steal the next one before level 20 talents are ready for the blue team, then at least they could take it away. But currently, how do you force this? It's tricky. Maybe another kill. They are trying. Yeah, they try to go for Dino, but he is out of there. There's no chance. He knows it too. So the blue team is just trying to rush away. They're moving away. They're just like, yeah, no, thank you. We're gonna wait for our Storm Talents and then we're happy to battle it out with you. But not before. At the top, Zergling on the money pick. And yeah, boy, Fancy Pants, he's gonna take over. But they're gonna get their Storm Talents now. Yeah, it's tough. It's one single fight that ruined the game for Team Mason. Still something that they can try to recover from, but it's gonna be difficult. Muradin jumps out, I mean clutch, but he makes it out. And that's all that they needed here. But they tried, so as it stands, we currently have with level 20. There's Rewind, the double ancestral. I mean, these upgrades are already insane. You don't want to fight that if you don't have your own Storm Talents. It's just one of the easiest rules in Heroes of the Storm. Don't fight when you're at a numbers disadvantage in a battle. Don't fight when you don't have level 10 and your opponent does, and the same applies to level 20. When you're talent down, you don't want to battle, and 10 and 20 are the big ones where you never want to do that. Very, very few exceptions to that rule. So now the DK is taken, they're going to try and burn it down with Cigara as best as they can. There's at least still some vision thanks to the tumors that Mason has put down, but they're going to lose a lot here. So Dragonite, it gets melted away fairly quickly by the Hydra, gotta give them that. Yeah, they're gonna lose that fort, of course. As long as they don't lose any additional heroes, they're gonna be fine. Tracer! And the heal. Tracer made it out. Urel applies some pressure on Junkrat. They're not doing too bad on this, but Zergling might have to pop his ult. Nope, he still gets out without it. So, they are looking for kills, and to be fair to them, that could have been either a kill on Junkrat or on Tracer. Those were some snappy moves that they just executed, trying to get those done. Roger with a tactical pause here, clearly. Doesn't seem like anybody actually dropped. I'm not sure about Urel here. Dino is starting to move in. But I don't think that anybody actually disconnected, so I'm not quite sure what exactly is the problem. Maybe they have some issues with voice. But either way, the defense here was good. Now they're half a level behind the opponent. If they can just get to level 20, they might be able to fight back. I mean, to be absolutely honest with you, think about it for just a moment. With now all the Dragonites and even that advantage that they had, there is still no... I mean, there's no keep that got destroyed. You lost some forts, which is annoying. But as long as the keeps are still standing, you're fine. So this isn't too bad. If they don't lose heroes now, can bridge that half level, and then take a proper fight, this could still be their game. Zagara is now at 39,000 damage. She's actually top damage in the game, not only on the red team, but in the game. And then on top of that, you have Junkrat with 38k for the blue team, who have to win 3 in a row now. Blue team has to win 3 in a row if they want to have a chance of bringing this back. Junkrat, by the way, is the only one that hasn't died yet. So, yep, Chaotic has made it so far. He's the only one that has not fallen. But yeah, let's hope that they can fix whatever the problem is. Well, they're back to business. And then we'll see if they make it to 20, and if after level 20 they're having a shot at winning some of those fights here. Dragonite nearly destroyed, so nothing's gonna happen around that. So, yeah. Nahaga is now back to the game without the Dragonite. And the red team nearly has their final talent. Especially with that minion wave just disappearing. So, Seraphim, Pact, Instincts. We got the Invisible Friends and also Dark Lady's Call. That's huge. Dark Lady's Call combined with Taunt, that's pretty big. As you can see here. Bye-bye Muradin. Insta-dead. And both Varian and Sylvanas nearly have their ults back. So there's a chance now to try and make the exact same play again. Godfilth is already at the front. They're pushing back. Urel is saying hello real quickly. There could be the taunt. Yeah, they tried, but Junkrat ruined the move. Yeah, but Sylvanas is going to have that ult back in another 8 seconds, so this is just such a dangerous combo now. It was dangerous before. Now that you essentially have no cooldown on Taunt and on Sylvanas ult, it's a totally different story. I mean, it's so much worse now. That camp, they actually fight for this. Okay. Well, Dark Lady's call gets used again very early before Taunt. But here comes the Taunt on Tracer. But she still has the mobility to get away. There's another slow, but the team just can't follow up on it. And now Varian needs some help. Murden is back, by the way, so it's a 5 versus 5 now. Varian has Taunt again. Sylvanas has her ult too. Yeah, Chaotic obviously is sitting in the bush where nobody can see him, but just imagine for a moment if Godfilth somehow got vision of him. That would have been a dead Junkrat within seconds. If you're in range of Varian as Junkrat and you get taunted, Sylvanas will follow up on that immediately, and then you have the rest of the team in, and especially Zagara, of course, saying hello. Who by now has 43,000 damage. Junkrat is still a bit ahead of her. Do they give that up? Wow. Okay. They decide to give the Dragonite up. Sylvanas and Zagara specifically have to now burn that down as quickly as they can, but... Alright. It's an 18-minute Dragonite that they just gave them. Well, we'll see. Sorry for these mini lags again. It seems like the NA server is having some issues. Dino has these problems. We had that in some of the games, not in all. But yeah, so can they keep the keep in play? Dragonite gets burned on very, very quickly. Looking for kill opportunities here too. Another kick. Varian has to come in. That keep is low. They are going to lose their keep. Mind control against the Haka. He's fine. The keep's gone. Yes, the Dragonite gets lost after, but they just gave that keep up and they didn't get anything out of it. There was no kill, no nothing. Ooh, okay. Yeah. I mean, if they get some good control on one hero and unleash their combo again, then 5 versus 4 can help them here. But currently, it's just not a thing. They can force the fights maybe around some of these camps. This one, for example. Yep, good. Godfilth is already zoning the blue team out. Junkrat can poke a bit. I mean, Sylvanas is just YOLOing some ults out every now and then. Obviously, you still want to coordinate with Varian, but in this case, it was obvious that nobody would get close enough to Varian, so she just like tried to get one over the wall there. The cooldown is so low that there's absolutely no problem with using it like that every now and then. So, yeah, that's the next one. 8 kills to 8, by the way. They're dead even in kills. But the Haka is with this global now controlling the side lanes and applying massive pressure to the top side keep. So they're just attempting to go down at the bottom of the map to try and burn this one out. But the Haka is likely going to get this. So they have to push. They need to siege up here. They know that eventually this is going to get bad for them. So now they're trying their best. They get Rhaegar! They get Rhaegar! There's the taunt! And he gets out. Rhaegar gets out, and that is Zagara destroyed. Riptide, Brightwing is dead. Seems like the blue team is going to put a point on the board. They're looking great here. 2 kills. Those were important. Mind control used again, but over here, Varian is about to go down, and now Sylvanas dies. That leaves us only with Durell. The blue team has finally done it. It took them 3 games, but here's that control that they needed in the team fights. They apply pressure with the Haka at the top, forced the red team to siege up at the bottom of the map. Rhaegar did not go down after Mind Control connected and Varian followed up with the taunt, and then they are just cleaning house. So this is going to be a game. We're going to go to game number 4, unless they're absolutely inting here and running it down mid. This is here a foregone conclusion now. 5-man team wipe. Final one gets taken down, and that is game. Team YEAAAAABOI with a point on the board in the Best of 5 series in the losers bracket here in the playoffs of the Captain's Clash. Nicely done. GG and well played. Ho ho ho! I'm not sure what I'm surprised by more, that Team YEAAAAABOI has a point on the board, or that Dino didn't disconnect. That is awesome. So, first try in game number 4, and all of a sudden Dino is making it. He is in the draft, the game did not crash, and yep, not bad. We're going to Cursed Hollow. Seems like Team Mason is still using a similar ban pattern to what they did on the previous games. Let's see if they also get rid of Diablo here. And indeed they do. So Diablo and Johanna, 2 of the picks for Caterpillar, have again been taken out. Yeah, and here's the chance. It would be entertaining if the blue team pulls off a full reverse sweep though. As much as on the one hand I would really like for Team Mason to at least win one match in this tournament, it would be... I mean, reverse sweeps are always cool. They're always amazing. So if the blue team can pull that off, that would be big. But we'll see. At the end of the day, really, for Team Mason, it was the one fight on the camp. I will come back to that time and time again on Dragonshire. They were trying to kill the Haka. They layered all of their abilities on it. They couldn't get the kill. Oh, first pick Vikings. Okay. God, I'm so happy. I'm so happy this goes to game 4. Oh, this is good. But yeah, Dragonshire was lost because of it. They fell so far behind that they never recovered from it. And it just sealed the deal. So now that we're in game number 4, we have a Viking game. And boy, do they pick them early. They knew that there was a high chance that the red team actually comes in and bans them. So instead we get this. Now, quick side note, this is now the 3rd time that Mason locks in Genji. The red team hasn't lost in this series whenever Mason was on Genji. Just saying, the second he switched to a different hero, they lost. Now he goes Genji again. Maybe. And this time they're getting rid of Sylvanas. They're like, yeah, we're kind of done with that. Roger, play another hero. This time it's not happening. Yeah, too many Sylvanas plays, too much mind control. Their mind is getting all wobbly right now, and they're just like, no, 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 no. We've had enough. Thank you very much. So, double pick, Caterpillar, Chaotic. That's probably going to pick last. You always want to have a strong 4-man, of course, when you play the Vikings. So they got Lucio to roam around. Tracer for Dino, Muradin. Grey main as well if you wanted to, but yeah. Dehaga's in, falls that ban, so you at least have one global. You have with Genji a lot of mobility on the red team to hunt some Vikings down. So that helps. But, final 2 picks. So, Team Mason, match point number 2. Second match point for them. Cassia and Rhaegar. So, Rhaegar's gonna help them with the camps. Yep, and they got Cassia. That could be a lot of stacking against Vikings and big team fights later on, for sure. Can the blue team do it again? This is the second match point that they have to defend. Red team with the 2-0 lead early on in the best of 5. And now we're heading to Cursed Hollow. Still one of my favorite maps, by the way. I like Cursed Hollow. I think it's a great one. They go for Junkrat, Tracer Junkrat once again. Very similar in like the barebone, the backbone of the team what they used on Dragonshire. So ladies and gentlemen, map number 4, Cursed Hollow. So game number 4, YEAAAAABOI on the Vikings. Show us what you got, fancy pants. Banana H on Lucio. We got Caterpillar on Muradin, 2nd time in a row. Chaotic again on Junkrat, same as in Dragonshire, and the same is true for Tracer. So, Dino is in, and over on the right side, we now got Weary Day on Rhaegar for Team Mason. It's the second match point. We get Mason himself on Genji. So far, they haven't lost when they played Genji. I've got Filth on Anubarak, Zergling on Dehaka, and we have Roger on Cassia. Okay, with that, let the games begin. Are the Vikings going to be strong enough, or who's going to claim victory here? And Cassia has, by the way, gone into her stacks with a Thunderstroke on level 1. So, I'm sure somebody completed that, by the way, in try mode. somebody has to, like, there's some people that just have way too much time on their hands and they complete the craziest things in try mode and then just like one-shot everything. Somebody probably did that too and just like completed that and can exactly tell us at what point Cassia just becomes this one-shot monster. So, yeah, very kind of funny. But anyways, Balog! First one to fall. The manliest of the Vikings. The manliest Viking there is, and he went down. Now, okay, with Balog already eliminated, this is obviously going pretty badly for the blue team. They're losing the masculine backbone, and it's just, it's all headed for disaster now. Okay, dumb comments aside, now they're getting Eric. I'm actually a little bit surprised that he was willing to engage on that. Imagine him dying because he didn't get a Viking. But he gets the Swift Spike reset and can easily move out. I assume he still had his D up too. So, yeah. Anyways, farm the Vikings a little bit, try and shut them down so that they can't control the entire map for the opponent. The Haka is now also moving around, and Genji is, as we already expected, just going from lane to lane, trying to apply pressure to the Vikings, keep them a little bit at bay. But, yeah. The game will have to develop a little bit before they can do enough here. Just a couple of stacks getting in at this point for Cassia. Expecting bigger team fights later. She's going to rack up the numbers properly. For now, they are going to attempt to put her against the 4-man whenever they can. And that's currently sitting right here in the middle. And Cassia is getting a couple of hits, and with that, they are getting stacks. The problem is they're losing an Uberok. So the first proper kill comes in for the blue team. And again, if they win this, they force map 5, and we would go the distance in our first best of 5 series of the day here in the losers bracket. Whoever loses this match is out of the tournament. The winner still has a chance to make that loser bracket run into the grand final. So there's quite a bit on the line. And also, you don't want to be the first team that gets eliminated from the tournament. That's another thing. Yeah, you kind of want to avoid that as best as you can. That's always a little bit of a bad look. So, at the bottom, Tehaka, again, missing the tongue over here. And Anubarak might die again. Yup, not looking too great for him. Ooh, God Filth. Yeah, we'll see how that's gonna go for him. Currently, he died twice. That's 2 kills against Anubarak. So he definitely will have to adapt a bit. He gets caught a lot here. And it's not working nicely for him. Roger is sitting on 15 stacks. We're 3 minutes into the game right now. Nothing is not bad, it's not great. So, yeah. Still fairly okay. Genji. What an epic mount. God, that is so epic and unique. I wish I had one. Fantastic mount right there. I always love when the Vikings actually make it out. So, yeah, Eric was able to get out of harm's way there. He is very swift. I gotta give him that. And that's our second tribute now up on the map. First one went over to the blue team. This time we don't have Sylvanas, so it's gonna matter a lot who takes the curses here. We can go for the next fight. Some of the Vikings will probably chip in too. 20 stacks for Cassia. It will matter in the late game how many stacks she gets. Currently it's not really that impactful, but if they can fight... I mean, this tribute, spawn position and everything, they should try and make the best out of it. They get an interrupt against the Vikings, as they're obviously attempting to lock that in. Map control is what they provide you with, and they're trying to get as much as they can here. Very day the one to attempt the channel, but the Vikings moving in and grabbing it. In the meantime, Cassia is at least getting some hits. Eats the Stormbolt though, and gets crushed. Yep, that's Cassia gone. Blown to pieces by Tracer. This time there is no Varian on the other side. There's no Brightwing. Makes the control of Tracer so much harder. They're trying to go for Junkrat instead, but the only thing that happens is an Uberok falling. So 4 kills to 0, and that is starting to look a little bit nasty. Now, we've been in that situation before, where the blue team excels in the early game, and they're getting absolutely wiped off the map in the later battles. But this is 2 seeds to 0. This is a 1-level lead, 4 kills to 0. And apparently a boss move this early in the game, which would likely eliminate the bottom fort, or at least severely damage it. So they are making some big plays here. They definitely are. And they try to build up all of that momentum. And I could totally see them getting a ton out of this. So I'm a little bit curious. This could go real badly for the red team. I mean, real badly. But they go for the boss now at the top 2. Has already been sniffed out. They need to take it quickly or it's going to be stolen away. Oh my god, and they abandon it. That's a lot of time they just wasted there. And no! Olaf kept the aggro, so it gets stolen away. Level 10, only in the hands of the blue team. Red team does the only thing that they can. I mean, I guess they could have tried to claim it in time, but boy, that is horrible for them. Double boss play, stolen away. Oh my god. This is... yeah.
Nope.
That's just bad. That's just really bad. The blue team has such an immense lead. The only good thing for them, for the red team, with that play just was that it's a very early game boss, so they're not that strong yet. But that is, yeah, that doesn't really help them a lot. They have to win the... If they now get cursed too while the bosses are still up, this is gonna be a disaster. So the Vikings, with the control that they have, yeah, Eric is at least down, they take Olaf down, but the ult is also up, and there they come. So Cassia can maybe get a couple of stacks here, but that only helps you if you also get kills. Vikings using their ult, maybe they can take a few more of them now out. Over and over, the interrupt against whoever channels the tribute, and the boss at the top has moved through the fort and is now even going for the keep wall. What a disaster for Team Mason. What an absolute... They're letting it go! No! What an absolute disaster. They're already 1.5 levels behind. Now they're going to lose the fort at the bottom of the map, and they're going to lose the fort in the middle. I mean, they accept it. They just sit there and they're like, guys, we gotta... There's no other way. We have to do something here. Cassia has 30 stacks at the 8-minute mark. That's also not where you want to be. And, boy, Anubarak is at least this time getting out. So, this is the good news for him. He made it. But now there's also level 13 on the other side. And it's just a nightmare. Down at the bottom of the map. Yep. Again, fort's gone. All 3 forts are gone. We lost all of them. And now they're losing walls and those keeps too. 20,000 damage from Junkrat, 15,000 from Tracer. Cassia sitting at 16k, just behind Junkrat. But, sorry, just behind Genji. If they can recover from the... Look at that, by the way. He's just going in and taking the wave out, yeah. He's probably gonna survive this too. Yep!
Let the curse end.
That was actually nicely done. Gets the wave. Can they... At least they recover their camp. 1.5 levels behind. They don't have level 13 talents, but they recover the camp. So that's at least something. It's not a lot. But at this point, yeah, you take everything you can get. So level 13 is about to kick in for Team Mason. Then they are on even talents. Maybe that's going to be enough. At the top, we now have a Zergling with another quick lick against the Vikings. Can't get a kill here either. They have a global. I mean, maybe, you know, with the global they can control the side lane. As I said before, this is not over yet, but this is obviously a massive blow. It's not only that you lost, like, yeah, you lost too much. Double boss, curse, 3 forts gone, 1 level behind now. You can still, with a few good team fights, turn this, but given the fact that they are also behind in kills and lost to Nubarak multiple times earlier, they would have to really coordinate the next attack properly, get a kill, also control Dino somehow. That's the next thing. I mean, let's not forget about him just rushing through them the entire time. And Nubarak has also not gone for bed of barbs, just full into the W. And currently, we have the fort at least being pressured. There's a couple of thingies of beetles that he can still spawn. So that fort is not quite gone yet. With the next minion wave, if they decide to push in, they might be able to get it. Would be nice to at least have that taken out, because it will increase their passive experience gain a bit. And also the catapult pressure on one lane would subside. And it happens just in time before level 16 is ready for the opponent. But now we have that 16 talent, and which means that the tribute that is spawning now will likely be given up. So that's 4 tributes in a row now, if that happens, that are taken. By the way, quick reminder, 16 is a big talent for the Vikings. Huge talent for them, actually. Large and in charge is the one where you start to participate in team fights as well. Okay. Get a tower. They are still pushing for this a bit. Oh, boss play right in front of them. Alright. The Haka is trying at the top to get the tribute. It did get it, actually. Zergling got the tribute. Down there, they are attempting to make sure that the blue team doesn't take the boss. Or at least delay it as much as they can, while they're also pressuring the bot side forward. So they attack Anubarak again. Try and jump on him. There's the Ancestral, and he survives for now. The Haka is still at the top. Doesn't even make a move down to the bottom of the map. And they're still alive here. And all of these little skirmishes that we're now seeing also provide opportunities for Cassia to stack further. She's at 57 now. That is, the next tribute spawns. That boss is still something that they want to take, but they've been slowed down at least. So they can slow them down. The question is, are they at some point really going to make a play to try and prevent the boss from being grabbed? Because now it's down to 50% of its HP. Again, the move made for the backline. They go for Cassia. No Ancestral, and Cassia's gone. Cassia's gone. No counter killers, it seems. Doesn't seem like they can go for... Oh my god. Rhaegar. Big jump, a little bit too much, and that is the end of him. So, yeah, Rhaegar and Dehaka all gone. That's a triple kill, and now they can go for the boss. It's getting worse. It's getting a lot worse for the team around Captain Mason. Now we got 30,000 damage for Cassia, but you look over to Junkrat, 35k, 27,000 for Tracer. And as I said, the situation is definitely not gonna get any better for them anytime soon. They have 16 talents now. Well, congratulations. But they're 2.5 levels behind, and now there's the boss at the bottom of the map, and another one at the top is likely going to be claimed next. So another double boss play for the blue team, and now we're talking about 12-13 minutes, which is of course making these bad boys a lot more powerful. So, not bad. Yeah. Maybe make another little play here. If they can get Dino, for example. I mean, they need to win some team fights. It's the only thing that... This is like one of those things. You need to force fights right now. If they don't work out, you're already behind. At this point, you assume... At this point, you have to. You have to just like throw a couple of Hail Marys. Once the level 20 hits for the blue team, they're gonna get another curse. So, you gotta make your play. Boss gets defended against by the Haka at the bottom of the map, and of course the keep, so it's down to 50% HP. Over here, camp is about to be taken by the blue team. They're stealing that too. The Ancestral is too low, and that's the end of Anubarak and the Haka, and I think this is where they are finally... I mean, this is the final nail in the coffin, if you ask me. They lost too many of their heroes already. Keeps are going to get attacked at the bottom of the map, and then they're going to go for the core. The Vikings are already dealing with the next tribute here, and they're just moving into the mid lane. Now the level 20 is ready, and it's just disastrous for Team Mason. They might still lose this. It's actually crazy. They're a 2-0 lead, and it looked like finally they would win a series, but now we might see the worst case scenario. You being dropped by an opponent that goes for a full reverse sweep. Yeah, the Haka is dead, and I just don't see how they defend here. Anubara comes back, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. We're gonna go to game number 5. We're gonna go the distance in this one. I have no doubts anymore. The core is already at 57%. Genji falls. A couple of the heroes are coming back here, but the core is just getting right-clicked now. And we will head into the 5th and final map of this series. We're gonna go... Essentially, we're turning the entire match into a best-of-1. Team YEAAAAABOI wins on Cursed Hollow. Team Mason goes down in flames, and we are going to the final map. GG. Sky Temple, we're going the distance, everybody. So we're going all the way right now. Interesting. Did not think that we would find ourselves in reverse sweep territory, but that's exactly where we are right now. Team YEAAAAABOI forced the final map, and here's the opportunity to win the series. So, Diablo gets banned again. I think they're going to target with their bans again Caterpillar. And on the other side, we have Sylvanas early, with an early ban. Ooh, they keep Jojo up. That probably means that they're going to go for Johanna first pick. It's at least likely. Also getting rid of the Vikings here is funny to me. Just saying like, yeah, we're done with this. They really struggled on the last one. Oh god, that was horrible. The problem was also when the boss got taken, the blue team hit level 10, crossed the map, and then stole the boss away from the red team. It was honestly a little bit reminiscent of what happened on Dragonshire. It's just like one of those pivotal points within the game where if you lose that, you're just getting wrecked. That was that follow effect. Are we gonna see Johanna as a pick now for the blue team? This is the first time that Caterpillar, that they have the chance to get Johanna for Caterpillar since game 1. So here's the Haka, and there's Johanna. Caterpillar immediately with Jojo. Okay, very, very nice. So, yeah, Lucio has already been taken. Caterpillar's taken away here too. But let's see what they are going to do with Genji, for example. Mason has played a lot of Genji. The last one was the first one where I lost with him. But it seems like it is a pretty strong power pick for him. We get Hanzo first, so instead of Sylvanas, who's banned, they go for Hanzo this time. I got Filth and Muradin. With Sky Temple and the Haka already taken, there's always a chance that Falstad is going to make an appearance as well. You normally want to have a global that can help a bit to control the map in general. Lucio is not a global, but at least he speeds you up. So, there's that. Can help a bit with that too. And they're getting rid of Cassia. I'm not sure how they're going to do with Falsa, but Falsa would definitely be a hero I would like here. Tracer gets banned. In the first game where Tracer was played, they could actually deal with her a little bit better because they had so many heroes that were channeling CC on her. But, I mean, again, they still lost, but if you take that CC away and then give Dino Tracer, he's going to have a field day. An absolute field day. So you need strong CC. Varian with Taunt was obviously one of the choices, but yeah, regardless. Yeah, I think it was a good ban for them. Genji gets taken, so does Rhaegar. So Mason can't take Genji. I don't know if there was the plan or the idea here of they, for example, playing Falstad right now. They could have gone for the Shimada brothers for sure. But now we have Dino and Genji. Jojo, Dehaka, also solid. Rhaegar leaves us with Chaotic, who played a lot of Junkrat so far, as the final pick for them. But global or no global? Are they picking Falstad to try and match the Haka a bit? And the answer is nope. We get Bambi, Hogger and Bambi. Have not seen a lot of Hogger here in this series. First time. And we get Lunara. So with Lunara, maybe they can pull through here now. But it also means that they have no global. So the Haka has essentially free reign on the offlanes there. Now, Chaotic, final pick from map number 5. Again, final map. So we went all the distance here in our first match of the day. It's a bit wild, and he goes for Junkrat again. He has the chance to play Junkrat, and Junkrat it is. So, let's go. Team Mason against Team YEAAAAABOI, the final map. We're going the distance. Sky Temple, the final map with YEAAAAABOI. On the left, the team that won 2 in a row to force the final map. The Haka played by Fancy Pants. We got Caterpillar on Johanna. Yep. No. Yes. Chaotic on Junkrat. And Dino and Genji and Banana H on Rhaegar. So Cattle finally gets Johanna again after it was banned the entire time. Now on the right side, Team Mason with Mason himself on Lunara. We have Viridae on Lucio. Got Filth on Muradin. Roger on Hanzo, and Zergling is playing Hogger. So, Lunara. Yeah, let's go. Sentinel Wisp as the level 1 talent. And I just want to see if Mason can absolutely crush it with her right now. Rhaegar will have to out-heal all of that. And off we go. Already a little bit of a poke here. Lunara, and even just like her jump animation, just annoy me. I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but this hobbity hop, I cannot play Lunara. It drives me insane. It honestly makes me borderline angry. It's just like this hopping that she does, it just goes against every single instinct that I have. I need a hero that moves properly, and she is like so weird. No! Lucio! Lucio goes down. That was bad. That's not how you want that. So yeah, Lucio dies immediately and gives first blood to the blue team. But let's just focus on my hate of Lunara again. So I'm not even saying the hero is bad or anything. It's just like this hopping. It drives me nuts. Honestly, you just want to take like a sniper rifle and just like right between the eyes. Every single time she does this little hibbity hop there. And even when I myself play her, it just like screws with my senses somehow. I cannot move that hero. It is just absolutely infuriating to me. I get mad at myself when I play her, so yeah. Bambi can be fun to watch at times, but not really my thing. So, yeah. Anyways, now that we have Lucio taken out, I mean, it's not really that big of a consequence just yet, but the one thing that I still want to talk about, if you lose 2 in a row, you are usually in a bit of a bad spot. And that's actually true for the blue team first and foremost, because they were initially the team that lost 2 games in a row and knew, okay, we have to play against match point, match point, match point. But now that they forced game 5, that's a very different story, because all of a sudden you are just on cloud 9. You're just sitting there and you're like, damn son, we actually made it into the final map. So 1 more, boys, let's go, let's take them down. So this is definitely going to be pretty awesome for them from just like a psychological point of view, and them being the ones, you know, they have a bit of momentum going into this final map. If Team Mason can break through that, that would be pretty incredible. So let's see if they can. Caterpillar very happy that he plays Jojo this time. Hogger down at the bottom of the map. Yep. Basically, at some point, they saw Sonya and all of the spin to win. And it was like, what if we make somebody that spins even more? And then they did. So now they got Hogger. And Junkrat from Chaotic. It's, by the way, the perfect player name to play that hero. He also writes the money pick. I mean, you can only love that guy. So, yeah, having a player that is named Chaotic play Junkrat is just absolutely perfect. Now, first few temples are up, and the immediate fight for it is happening. Oh, Hanzo! Hanzo! And he's gone. And boy, Lunara nearly died too. 28 hit points. So that's 2 kills to 0. That's level 7 talents that they have. Bit of a lead. And control taken in the middle for just a moment by the red team. Oh, choke point. Can they capitalize on that a little bit? Yeah, maybe not. Bambi is putting some decent numbers out currently with all of that damage over time. There's always like this internal argument whether like how you should measure Lunara damage, because like, yeah, it's not real damage, like it's only damage over time, it doesn't mean anything. Well, it's always a question if you can get the kills afterwards, yes or no. So far it's a lot of damage that applies pressure onto the healer, but we of course need to eventually get those kills. You can make the same argument of Hanzo as well. He just like scatters a couple of arrows around and all of a sudden there's damage there. If the 2 of them just work in tandem and drop everybody so low that they can then get kills, fantastic. So far they haven't gotten a single one. So far there's not even one that they have here. So, yeah. Roger also with YEAAAAABOI again. The poor man's version of Hawkeye. And Hawkeye is already no prize, so there's another problem that you have. They still take the camp, look at these little bastards. But they lose 2 in the process. First, Cattle falls on Jojo, and then they're killing the Rhaegar. Now they're looking for the Haka, but yeah, with Essence and everything, was a bit too much. Muradin still highly uncomfortable, doesn't have a lot of mana, doesn't have a lot of hit points. He's just like, boys, can I please get out of here? Stop blocking. And they are able to get him away. Okay, so let the hits begin. 3 kills to 2. Yeah, it's getting a little bit closer right now. At the beginning, I was worried. I honestly looked at those 3 kills for the blue team and was like, oh boy, if they're not running away with the game and don't even leave them a chance, then that would be pretty disastrous. But at least there is some fight spirit left on Team Mason, so they are trying. They might be a bit behind in experience, and they are also about to, well, not lose a fort, but they lost a lot of hit points there. But they still can potentially take this. Now, going up against an opponent that is about to get level 10 is of course always a bit like but we'll see. Put the Haga here in the middle at least a bit. Now we have Heroic, so stay away from them for half a level and then make your play. But Filth is already rotating down. That's not the money pick. I'm not quite sure if I can let that count. I'm sorry. It's also a pig, but it's just not the same thing. So I mean, you get an A for effort. At least you tried, but it's not the same. So there's only one money pick. It's the best mount in the game. Makes you faster, makes you stronger. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if I can actually let this one slide. So yeah, sorry for that. Alright, so next fight down here. We have again Jojo on the point. It's now bullied around a bit. The Haga is still up at the top. The chattering TV. This talent is so dumb and I absolutely love it. Every single time I see it. The Haga is gonna get them the top side forward. For sure. So, they go for Muradin. Got filth. Here comes the Haga. Rega with the self-ancestral. Riptire against Hogger, who pokes out and is just not fast enough. So he gets caught, he gets killed, he's gone. 4 kills to 2. And the rest of the shots goes to the blue team as they are claiming more damage against the bot lane fort. So structurally, it is Team YEAAAAABOI that is in the lead. In kills, they've taken the lead too. Blue team is just looking better and better with every single game. Team Mason, they still have a chance to bring this back, but they have never won an entire series in this tournament. They came in last in the round robin with seeding, and now they might be the first team to be eliminated from the tournament too. Fort number 2 gets eliminated. That's 2 major structures already gone. The way that they moved over to the left side, I was like, they are not going boss. That makes no sense whatsoever. And yeah, thankfully they didn't. Siege Giants. That's more like it. So yeah, Siege Giants is there. Stormbolt. There is tons of poke damage still. I mean, Lunara and Hanzo, they are connecting those hits. There's the arrow, and they get Caterpillar. They actually get him. They actually get him with that little play. 26,000 damage on Lunara, and now they want to go for the boss. So it's already getting sniffed out. They could be able to take it. 15 seconds until Jojo is back, so there's no blessed shield right now either. Burden is a little bit low for my liking, I gotta say. Oh boy, you guys might have misplayed this. Oh, I can't watch! Guys, is it happening? Jojo is back! They're gonna let the boss slide. No, they wasted it. And now the blue team is trying to take it. No way. God, Filth is trying to get his hit points back and let his trade kick in. There's the shockwave and the insta-ancestral. They're still close taking him down. Muradin jumps away and the boss is taken by the blue team. This cannot be happening again. How is this possible? Time and time again do they run into the issue where they're trying to take a boss, they have to give it up. They try to take a camp, they have to give it up. They lose a boss here, they lose a boss there. Oh! They took too much damage. Muradin just took too much damage. So now, as they just had a chance to bring this game back at least a little bit, not even a lot, just a little bit, they are losing that play. Stormbolt doesn't connect with the Haga either. They still are gonna get their kill, but they just 4-man the top and down at the bottom of the map. Hogga's rushing away as the boss is going for the first keep, and Genji is taking the shots from the temple at the bottom of the map. So now the bottom keep is lost 100%. Bottom keep is lost. There's no way to save this anymore. And the red team hasn't destroyed a single fort yet. They are trying with Muradin now at the top, and I think this one might fall unless someone contests it. But they are losing too many structures, and if you lose structures on Sky Temple, you are going to be in a lot of trouble as the game continues, because your opponent will always be able to just trade temples with you. And that's what we're talking about right now. One fort is destroyed. If they are able to take the rest of the shots, maybe they can get the one in the middle too. Yeah, blessed shield out. Try for Muradin, double Stormbolt connect, arrow, maybe now, Caterpillar low, the Ancestral, and it's in time to save the day. Another Stormbolt connects, and Cattle is gone. Got filth, you little beast, got skills, my man. That was awesome. Jumps out, connects the next Stormbolt, is able to save himself and brings it together for the team. They take Cattle out again. That's the third time that Johanna has fallen. And that's the chance to get the shots through the top temple. That will destroy another fort, will apply damage down at the bottom of the map. They are still a level behind, but now with the numbers advantage, they have a little bit of time on their hands where they can start to go for level 16. Nice. That's the way that you start a comeback here. So, 2 forts destroyed. Still behind. I mean, still behind. But they got a chance now. They got a fighting chance. Bring it to 16 and then make your plays. And God Filth, that was big. That was actually very, very big what he just pulled off. Question is still, is it going to be enough to turn the game around for them? But kudos to him. There was some serious play in that last fight to secure the death of Johanna. A little bit of extra pressure at the bottom fort. Nothing insane, nothing crazy. The Haka, by the way, not here yet, but still, a little bit matters at this point. Junkrat, Hogger, and is dead. I mean, mit Ansage, Junge. That was a bit too obvious. I mean, they basically sent them a snail mail and announced that one. And now God Filth is in trouble, and he's not making it. Nope, that's a double kill. He can waste that time a little bit more, but the... yeah, that carpet was trying to grab him, but sorry, boy. He falls too fast. Muradin is a little fatty, like, he drops quickly. So... that was a bit unfortunate. That ragdoll just gets kicked off Sky Temple. That lands down in Tomb of the Spider Queen in just a moment. But now the big play through the middle, so there's the chance to take another keep down. You gotta give it to Team YEAAAAABOI. Whenever they have a chance and opportunity, they just go for it. And now that's 50% of the HP gone. Muradin will be back in 9. But, yeah. Bottom of the map. Muradin is back. It's actually pretty impressive. He went skydiving without a parachute, and yeah, he still made it somehow. Back in the game. Still a 2-level disadvantage now. Oh! Yeah, you gotta get that temple. If not, then the mid lane keep is gone. It might be gone either way. I'm not quite sure if they're gonna be there in time. Catalyst trying to get a few more shots. The Haka still sitting at the top. And Nara is already poking a little bit as Cattle is getting a very quick Iron Skin out here. They're trying to buy time for the Haka, of course. Damage output, Junkrat on 41,000, 38k for Lunara. Fort gone, but Genji is in the middle, is gonna try and take that keep out. Up at the top, we got the Haka. The red team is just getting outplayed now. They have no global, and what the blue team can do is just play around them. So they're trying to go for the boss. This is gonna be an attempted death push. They're going to try and take a 14-minute boss and then go for it. There's nothing else that they can do. Even that is not going to work. Blue team is just going to macro the shit out of them now. That's what's going to happen. They're just going to macro them to death. That's all they got to do. They never really have to take an actual team fight. There's level 20 now. Boss at least is going to be taken, so that's something. Oh, good damage, but not enough. Hogger is still dead. Ooh, that arrow. Oh. Arrow actually connected with something. Nice. Got Junkrat. But yeah, boss is now at the bottom of the map, but with Junkrat, sorry, with Hogger gone, they can just fall back and start to defend us. So, not a problem for them. In the meantime, they took one of the keeps out. At the top, this one is taking damage. So, all they gotta do, fall back. They have level 20. They can even take fights. It doesn't really matter. They can take fights. They got the lead everywhere. But as soon as we're talking about structures, they're gonna go for it. What do you think the red team is currently doing? The red team is doing the only thing that they can. The red team is going YOLO! There's no other way. They have to go in. They have to take the shittiest fights right now. Any fight they can get. Try and win it, because if they don't fight, they lose. And, well, they can't win those fights either. It's a lose-lose situation that they're facing off against. Bottom keep at least gets destroyed. The whole idea was to go with that towards the core. And the blue team just shut that down by attacking, by going for the keeps, going for the core, forcing them to defend. That's the only thing that they could do. So right now it's a 5 versus 4. The next temple it's up. It's a double temple. The double temple wins the game. They get both channels, the game's over.
And on top of that, they have, of course, the opportunity to get mercenary camps on the map. There's a double siege giant camp already at the bottom. So over here, marching straight for the core. Now they're splitting their forces for the two temples, and the red team has to react to it. And I don't think they can. Genji is escorting the siege giants in, is going to make a play for the core at the bottom of the map. There's just too many fires on this map. You can't, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. So, yeah, the last keep is gone. Core is getting attacked directly now, and Genji is already starting to work the shield down. They're trying in the middle, they're taking over. Lunara is up at the top. Core is down to 70%. Dino still getting the hits in. Catapult, Siege Giants, 50%. More shots being fired. Dino's on the run. Core is down to 43. Bambi goes down. That's game. That's it. GG. Reverse sweep from Team YEAAAAABOI as Team Mason gets eliminated from their Captain's Clash. What a comeback by the blue team.